What's going on, everyone? So, Zion Williamson. ESPN's doing the rankings and, breaking down all the things that their, predictions and whatnot. And Zion Williamson was voted as the next star to force his way out and request a trade. You had like Giannis and stuff like that on the list, but Giannis appears to be sticking around because his brother just signed a new contract and he can't be traded next season. So Giannis probably rides it out next year. So it's like every few months there's like a new star that becomes available and a new star that kind of wants out. Trae Young is a guy to kind of keep an eye on, but Zion, I do think makes a lot of sense, right? Like, one, does anyone expect, or believe that Zion is going to finish his career with New Orleans? Does New Orleans even think that Zion is going to finish his career in New Orleans? Probably not. Would they even want him to? Probably not, right? And Zion's in a very unique situation, right? Because he's on a non-guarantee every season of this contract, which gives a team kind of that get out of jail free card if it doesn't work out. He's still young. He just turned 25 years old. And when he plays and is healthy, the guy is otherworldly, right? There's no denying his talent. He should be a top 5 player in the league. No questions, no ands, ifs, buts about it. He should be. He's not, but he should be. I mean, when he plays, minimum, the guy's a 25, 7, and 5 guy on like 60% from the floor. Anybody that's his size can't defend him because they're not quick enough and athletic enough and explosive enough. And anybody that is like athletic, quick, and they're not big enough. The guy is like a freak of nature and just incredibly dominant. And yet teams are hesitant and wouldn't even want to touch him because part of it, he can't get out of his own way. Part of it is, he's a liability. Can't stay healthy, right? He doesn't seem committed to basketball to the level in which you want him to, right? Imagine if you could get him to be, though. And how much of it is him being on a team like New Orleans, right? Is that really where he wants to be? Is that really where the moment he was drafted, he wanted to go to a big market. He wanted to go to the Knicks, is where ideally he wanted to go. And, but he just wants to be in a big market. He doesn't want to be in New Orleans, right? So do you maybe see something where if New Orleans trades him, he kind of buys in a little bit more and he embraces things a little bit more and he is more serious because he's like, okay, now I'm on the Nets or something like that, or I'm on, the Knicks or the Lakers or, one of these teams where it's like, okay, I think a team like Charlotte, go back home, right? You play with LaMelo. I think Charlotte would do it immediately. Not even if they're terrible, right? Like, I just think the money, the financial gain you would have to have Zion and LaMelo, like, even if you never win a championship, you would be so fun to watch. I mean, that duo would be ecstatic to watch, right? So, maybe a team like that who at some point they're probably going to have to consolidate players and pieces, right? Regardless, to where it's like, okay, well, let's kind of consolidate it to Zion, hometown kid. Like, so, maybe he'll buy in a little more, maybe be more committed. On top of that, if it doesn't work out, we can kind of get out and have a bunch of cap space that we can kind of retool and revamp things if need be, right? I don't think you'd have to sell the farm to get him either. Like, that's the thing. I mean, because any trade, like, that's the question, is like, how much do you have to give up in order to land him? I think in the case of Zion, you don't have to sell very much. So I think any team that would be willing to take the flyer on Zion, I think, it might end up being worth it. Like, I could see teams, like I mentioned, like, I look at teams that either so there's 3 paths in which you could look at it, I guess, right? One is just the pure financial. It's like, hey, man, Zion coming to our team, jersey sales, things like that. I mean, we might make $1 billion off of Zion being, donning this color, right? Then there's the consolidation side of things where you have a team, like I mentioned, Charlotte, right? Or the Spurs are another team that comes to mind, right? Like teams that are going to have to pay guys, have so much young talent that they're going to have to make tough calls and tough decisions, and they have to kind of consolidate things. And it's like, you could do worse than Zion, plus you have the get out of jail free card, so it's like a win-win. Get off of these guys, take a flyer on a potential superstar, and if it works out, you look like the mastermind geniuses. If it doesn't work out, then you can just let them go and you clear a bunch of cap space to kind of retool around your stars. All right, It's kind of what I see with teams, the consolidation side of things. And then there's just the straight up trade where you're a team that believes, a team like the Lakers are like, hey man, Zion and Luka would be quite the duo long term. We were able to get Luka bought in, healthy, focused, put Zion on the same kind of Luka regime, the same Luka diet, and kind of get Zion right. Plus, he's in a big market. He's in a place he wants to be. He's playing alongside Luka Doncic, playing for NBA championships every year. Maybe we get him to buy in a little more. And if he doesn't, we can just, wave him clean and clear up a bunch of cap space to go get that next guy. Right. And kind of, if it works, you look like absolute geniuses. If it doesn't work, it's like, hey, we get out of jail, get out of jail free card, and then boom, here we go. Here's all the other things. Right. So again, I think that there's multiple versions and arguments to trade for Zion. It's just like, what team would be the team to actually go and do it? Right. And is New Orleans actually going to get the return in value that they would at least want? Right. Like, because you don't want to necessarily give him away. Because if you're going to just give him away, then you might as well just clear the cap, right? But if you can get him, I'm not saying, like, I don't see a team giving like a star package for him, but you got to at least, can you get 2 firsts and a young player for him, right? And kind of justify or argue, or maybe you're trading for another star, right? Maybe you're, because New Orleans could end up having to consolidate things at some point. Maybe a Giannis wants to become available, and it's like, hey, we'll give you Zion, DeJounte Murray and Herb Jones plus picks for Giannis, right? Now Giannis is New Orleans, right? Like, I don't know, maybe you work something like that out. But again, you just look at, I just want to go over the numbers real quick, right? Problem is he doesn't play. Best ability is availability. Last year he played 30 games. The guy's in total has only played 214 games. He's been in the league since 2019. So, but he's averaged 17 field goal attempts per game last season, 56.7% from the field, 3-point range. He can shoot the occasional three, but not somebody right now that you want taking threes regularly. He was 23%. He did his rookie season shoot 43% on 0.6 attempts. He is from 2-point range, 57.6%. He's a career 60% from 2-point range on 16 and a half attempts, 57% EFG, which is actually the lowest of his career. So even in a bad year, he had an incredible effective field goal percentage. Free throw percentage, he shot 65.6%, which he is a career 70% guy. Rebounds, 7.2 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 1.5 steals, a block, and 25 points per game. Every team in the league could use a guy like that. Right? Like, if you can get him for a reasonable price, I do. There's definitely teams that would take a flyer on him, even just for financial gain. It's just, can you find that team that makes sense? But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel? What team do you want to see him go on? Love to hear it either way. That being said, if you want to like this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.